This episode is sponsored by HelloFresh, the UK's #1 recipe box kit. Billie, you're usually the cook in your house, aren't you? So
Yes.
what have you been cooking recently from HelloFresh?
So I actually made the other night, it was called a chicken pot scrunch pie, and
Oh,
I have to
sounds nice.
say, it was amazing. It's probably one of my favourite recipes today. It was
it's good to know.
and the kids loved it as well. It was like
Yeah.
a really nice chicken pie with like vegetables in it, but then the top was phyllo pastry. So rather than like heavy, like
Nice, light and crispy.
it was really, honestly, it was really nice.
That's what I love about HelloFresh. Like, you're always trying different ingredients and recipes that you wouldn't normally cook at home.
Well, this is it. Like, I haven't cooked anything like that for the kids for a while, and I think
Yeah.
the fact like it was on like a night I'd been at work in the day, and it comes
Yeah, there's
straight
like
to
no
the
thought
door.
process.
Yeah,
It's there. There's no food waste. You've got your recipe sheet and your method how to do
yeah,
it.
that's the
So
thing.
convenient.
Like everything's fully prepared as well for you, so it's just literally pulling it all together.
Takes all the stress out of it.
Yeah.
And guys, we have got a special treat for you. So you can get 50% off your first box and 35% off your next 3 boxes when you use the code, in capitals, Sam and Billie.
That's Sam and Billie, all in capitals. Enjoy, guys. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Sam and Billie Show with me, Billie.
And me, Sam. So today's episode is inspired by you guys. We thought we'd talk about a topic that you have asked us a lot about on DMs, and I think just genuinely, like, we get these questions a lot. And it is travelling with children.
I do actually get a lot of DMs about that.
So many. And I do think, I mean, we've always said this, Billie and I, we do kind of live for our holidays. We've kind of had our fair share of trips. So I feel like we stand in a good position to give some advice.
Yeah, substantial
advice.
on travelling.
Yeah.
At all different ages. I think the first time I travelled with Nellie and Arthur was when they were
6 weeks or
yeah,
something.
I think Nellie was 6 weeks and Arthur was 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So they were babies, like tiny babies.
That actually, guys, if you're thinking of going away with a newborn, do it, because
That's the easiest
That's the
age.
easiest age until they get past, like, I don't know, 3.5 or something.
Well, I think when they start crawling and moving about, that's got to be the most challenging.
That is
age.
definitely the most challenging. Newborn's fine. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Tricky.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, to be fair, Nellie's all right now.
Yeah, I think like from the age of 3.5 onwards, it starts easing up. But
Yeah.
it's that little bit there. But
When
we're
they're
here to help
toddlers.
you. We'll give you our advice, kind of like our stories, highs and
Oh.
lows.
I mean, it's not easy, is it? Let's be honest. I don't know anyone that actually could say, I really enjoy being on the aeroplane with my children.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
No.
I think it makes you feel anxious. I think it makes you feel like what they're going to be like. I mean, obviously, I know ours are slightly old now, so it does get easier.
It does.
iPads, colouring in,
Yeah.
snacks. It does get easier. But then you still have those moments. Like when we flew back from the Maldives in January, Arthur, and I mean, he had his cousin Bertie with him, so they're like together, the two of them are a real little pair.
Yeah.
At one point, they were just running up and down the aisles screaming.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
I was like me and Francesca, like my sister-in-law, was like trying to, but it gets to a point.
Yeah, well,
where
you're just fed up of telling them
and
to
I
sit
think the more you
down.
tell them to sit down, the more they do it. And then, I don't know, like, you know what it is? I think as a parent, when you're on a plane, all you're thinking about is what other people think about you and
I
what other
know.
people are thinking about your parenting
It's
skills at that
stressful.
moment.
It's stressful,
And it-
everyone looking at you. Like,
and it is
"Oh."
stressful.
We've all been there. I'm not that judgy parent. Sorry, passenger.
No,
like
not
honestly,
at
only
all.
maybe because I am a mum and you kind of get it, but I just can't bear. Even like the older generation, I'm like, you definitely have kids and grandkids. Like, give us a break. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've had
children.
Yeah, kids are kids. You can't have.
It's-
Like I remember once when I mean, I've got so many airplane stories. I can't even.
You've got quite a lot. I don't really have many.
I have quite a few. Like one of them was when Nellie was little. Greg and I, we sat behind. We just got on the plane. I think we was going to the Maldives. She was only little, and so it was a long haul flight. There was an older couple sitting in front of us, and as soon as we sat down, she tutted and rolled her eyes, and I caught her. I said, "Sorry, is there a problem?" It got my back up. I thought, "No, don't start, woman."
Yeah.
I
No,
thought,
and
"I've
also
ju-
put her in her place straight away. You can't mess with
and
me.
Greg was sitting there, and I'm not usually that sort of leery, upfront
but
person.
sometimes, like, you're on a long haul flight, you want this woman to know you can't mess with
I
me.
thought I don't want to be on this plane with
Yeah.
a baby either. Like as much as you do, like you know, not I don't mean like that, but I mean like it's going to be harder
Harder
for
for
me
you
it is
than it is for you. Yeah.
and like she had the up because she had a baby sitting behind her. But then I thought,
Was you in economy or
we
business?
was in economy.
She can be quiet then. It's not like she's splashed out on £5 a ticket.
Exactly. But anyway, so and I said it to him. Greg was looking at me, going, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "She's rolling her eyes because," and you know, like when you're being really loud so everyone can hear.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I just think no, I don't like that.
no, and then she ate her words because thankfully Nelly was actually really good on this flight because it was a long haul. I think she'd slept a lot of it. And at the end, her husband, you could see her husband was really embarrassed, like obviously because I'd caught her reaction.
Yeah.
Her husband was like, "Oh, she was a really good baby, wasn't she?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, thank you."
Sometimes you find that with the husbands, don't you? They like feel like they have to kind of
to
like say something,
for their
for
miserable wives. But yeah, no, that was I think the worst experience I had on the plane. I think I told you
This wasn't so long ago. Mum was there as well.
Mum was there. Arthur must have been about 3.5.
Where'd you
anyway,
been, Dubai?
So I think we was on the way back from from Dubai, and there was a family that was sat in front of us, and Arthur was like kicking off a bit, you know, as they do sometimes, and he'd kicked. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is really annoying. He'd kicked like the back of the. Well, he was on my lap and I was trying to like sit down, calm down, you know. And there was a woman sitting in front, a bit older. He'd like kicked the back of her seat and I was like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry." Anyway, carried on. And then he was having like a bit of a tantrum, right, crying. She turned round, right, and she smacked him. Right? I swear to God.
Smacked him?
I went, "Excuse me," right? I stood up. Can you imagine? You know, like when you have the red mist where you're shaking.
Wait, where did she smack him?
She smacked him on his arm, right? I think she was like German or something. So she was saying all stuff, but she turned around and she went and she smacked him, right?
Oh my God.
When I mean I kicked off, I was going mental. Like,
what did Mum do?
Mum was sitting there as well. Mum was like saying, but then obviously everyone was looking, and I think as well where we're in the public eye, sometimes you do think, oh, afterwards I thought, oh God, what if someone's videoed that? Or like, but in the time I didn't think about that because I was so angry.
Someone's just smacked your child.
And then Greg was half asleep, like a couple of rows in front.
He was.
Yeah,
and we always get left with the kids.
Oh, always. And he was like, "What's going on?" And I was literally going berserk at this woman, and she didn't really like I say, she was German, so there must have been a language barrier.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was like,
no, that's
she's hit
not
like
acceptable.
I mean, listen, it wasn't like a big aggressive, like she didn't hurt him, but she smacked him. And I was
sorry,
like,
I can't believe that.
I couldn't, honestly, I was like in shock. I was furious.
Did anybody else, like any flight attendants, get involved?
So some, like one of the air hostesses come up and she was like, "Madam, like," I was like, no, everything's not right. I was like, "She's just smacked my child," right? I was like shouting.
Gosh, yeah, I can just imagine.
And it was all kicked off anyway. And then she went, and she put a blanket over her head and was like hiding. She was so embarrassed. And she had like I think she had like children that were a bit old, old, maybe like teenagers.
Oh, so she had
so you could
children.
Tell. Oh yeah, she had children. You could tell her kids were really embarrassed. I felt a bit sorry for them because obviously they were probably thinking, "Mum, what have you done?"
Yeah, you caused a scene. Everyone's looking at us.
So that was probably that's probably the angriest I've been on a flight. But going back to the flight, like which I think a lot of people have asked us about is like best tips for flights with kids. Like what do we pack in our bags for the kids? Like you go through what you pack and I'll tell you what I pack.
I think, like I said earlier, I think when you've got newborns, I think you don't realise like actually how easy it is to travel with a newborn. As long as you've got, whether you're breastfeeding, bottle feeding, all the essentials you need. But I think when they get that little bit older, there is a real sticky period to fly when it's like crawling, walking. I think we had a turning point in our last holiday, which was October. Both Rosie and Paul were great. And we went to Dubai, but for me, I thought this is the first flight.
Holiday, yeah.
Where I've actually relaxed the whole flight.
Yeah.
So Rosie's was almost 4, Paul almost 6. Pre that, you do have to be prepared.
Oh gosh,
you have to prepare for the worst, and then hope that they sleep for a substantial amount of the flight.
God, yeah.
But like in terms of what you take, I do think that it's good to have, whatever tablet they have, download a few movies, games. We take colouring books, colouring pens, pencils, sticker books.
About 4 changes of clothes each.
Yeah, make
Mine
sure that
always
you
end up spilling like
there's
a
always a
drink or
spillage.
something. Yeah, I always think change of clothes.
Always, yeah. And I just think like you just have to take a deep breath, have a large glass of wine at the airport.
Yeah, that always
because
helps.
that toddler age, unfortunately, is very unpredictable when you're flying.
Also,
short haul, but I think short haul and long haul.
Yeah.
Even if you're just going to Spain,
it
still can
I
be.
think like when you've got toddlers and you're flying, I think I'm not being like negative or Debbie Downer. But I think you just have to think it's not going to be that enjoyable, the flight. But when you get to the destination,
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
going to be worth it.
You just have to just suck it up and get on with it and just pray that they're going to be good and have a little sleep.
Yeah.
Because it's when they have that little sleep, that's the respite you need on the flight, I think.
Oh, completely.
Like when they have a sleep and you're like, oh, finally, I can relax for a minute.
Also, like, I mean, I know that Rosie and Paul don't probably argue and fight as much as my two, but do
you sit separate?
I separate Nelly and Arthur.
I was going to say, if you have that situation, I would say book seats where you're not together.
We separate them. So, and sometimes this sounds really bad, but Nelly's so easy on the flight now.
Yeah.
And sometimes me and Greg before the flight are like
arguing over who's having Nelly.
No, yeah, like, I'll sit with Arthur for the first part. Yeah. You can have him for the second part. Like, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? Like, but it is because you just know, like, I mean, Greg, to be fair, me and Mum laugh. Obviously, Mum comes away with us a lot. And and Mum laugh. Like, Greg always ends up watching about 6 movies on the plane, has a little snooze.
Paul's the same.
And, like,
yeah.
We're like, how did that happen? He's like, oh, did you watch it? Did you watch it on me? And I'm like, no, not a thing. But to be fair, I don't watch films on the plane, really.
No.
Very rarely do I watch a film.
I did recently, actually, like I said, it was a turning point. They were both so good. I actually managed to watch a whole movie. Which has never happened since being a parent.
Yeah.
But that's different for Paul, big Paul. Like, you can watch a whole series, by the time you get to the Maldives. And it's like, hello.
They just put the earphones on and zone out, like nothing else is going on.
Or there might be a point where you really have had enough. And have you ever done that where they're little, like babies, and I've just literally plonked
them,
the baby on there, and it's like, I need a minute to myself.
Honestly, I have had a lot of like, you do that constant, you running up and down the aisles. Like the bit at the back of the plane near the toilets. Yeah. I've done that, like where you're like, shh, 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 and like in that, and sometimes you see other mums doing it, and you're like, I think the point is, look, I think that
until they're about 3.5, guys, you just got to get through it.
Even like, I even think sometimes
snacks is a good thing because
snacks.
Take their favourite snacks because obviously once you're on an aeroplane, there's only limited things on there.
Yeah,
and I always find that no matter who you fly with, my kids will not eat that aeroplane food.
No, I always make mine sandwiches now. I make a little packed lunch. I was going to say, loads of little sandwiches for them.
Whatever, if it's long haul or short haul, take packed lunches for your kids because they don't want to eat that disgusting.
No, that's true.
And even when it's things like sometimes Mum will have the cheese and crackers, but other than that, they're not gonna eat that. Well, mine don't. Anyway.
No, they don't. Mine never do.
So yeah, lots and lots of snacks.
Do you know what's a really good tip? What someone told me once. So if you've got toddlers and you're at the airport and you've got your pram and So I always used to think, like, actually, the process of getting on the plane is actually more stressful than being on the plane because, if you've got toddlers, they're running everywhere, they're here, there, and that, and you're trying to strap them in the pram.
Security tickets, more tickets.
All of that faffing around. But I think when you get through security, right, and someone once told me this, and I thought it's so true, don't keep them strapped in the pram, right?
Yeah.
Let them run about for as much as they can.
Burn off a load of energy.
Burn off the energy. And because I used to sometimes try and keep mine in the pram for all that bit and like
you actually let them run wild in the airport
in the airport because then when you get on the plane hopefully they might settle a little bit.
It's very true.
But also one thing which I always found quite difficult with travel, right? And this, I suppose, obviously now you get the carry-on prams, don't you? The fold-up prams that go in the hold, not the hold, sorry, in the top
they like
fold down and you can put them in.
Yeah.
So I never had one of those for Nelly and Arthur, and I travelled a lot. They didn't really come out, I don't think, until Arthur was a bit
I had
older.
one for Rosie, but not Paul.
Yeah. So I used to find that when you used to get off the plane,
you could walk miles,
and
your child was really heavy.
That was quite. I think that's quite difficult. I think that's actually something which
I think they've
a
got
lot of
better.
Airlines.
I think that's got better because it was really bad. Like, and little Paul at the time was massive. Like, he wasn't quite 2.
And when you've got all the stuff,
and he's
as
heavy,
well.
and we had all that stuff. Big Paul was like a donkey walking through the airport.
Oh, that's what.
With a sleeping child, and I was like, what? Like, what is this? How are we supposed? And it was so far to get to our luggage where the pram was. I was like, this can't be normal. What if you're on your own?
This is what I think. Like, obviously, there's a lot of parents that might travel on their own with young children or a young baby.
I wonder if it's changed since then. Because
I just think like that was
really
kind of
difficult.
Impossible. Yeah, if you've got like 2 bags, let's say a toddler and a baby, and you're on your own,
and your baby's asleep.
Like that's,
and they're heavy. They're so heavy at that age. But no, I definitely would recommend, if you've got a toddler, take one of those prams that you can roll onto a flight and fold away, because you don't always get your pram when you land.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what airline, doesn't it?
But also as well, one thing that I bought when Nelly was a baby, because my pram, I always used to put my pram through and it always used to get completely battered.
Yeah, pram bag.
Big pram bag. You can get them on Amazon. They are the best thing, literally.
They're so good.
You put your prams in them, zip it up. And
stewards do not give a shit about prams.
They literally...
and if you've got like a
nice pram, that is the worst thing, isn't it? When you put your pram through and it comes out and it's all like bent up, completely
honestly,
like filthy.
Like black.
Yeah.
Definitely buy one of those pram bags. Like Billie said, they're on Amazon.
They're
like a tenner or something.
So handy.
Really handy. So I saw this thing on Instagram the other day, and I didn't know that you was allowed to do this. So it's basically, you know, like a car seat.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, you can.
So you can actually take a car seat. You have to buy a seat.
Buy a seat, yeah.
But you can take a car seat on an aeroplane.
On an aeroplane, yeah. We've never done this.
I've never done that.
Me
I didn't even know it was
neither.
allowed. It has to be like a approved car seat or something, you know, but probably quite generic. I don't think it's. And I was like, there was a stage where little Paul was not quite 2. But he's it was massive as well. Like,
and you couldn't buy him your own seat.
You couldn't, but I couldn't get me my own seat. But I was thinking, if I'd known that then, just so I can have a minute, because they're like, you know, what it's like they climb all over you when they're
really
basically
hard.
like a 2-year-old, but they can't have their own seat. I didn't know that there was you actually allowed to put a car seat
on the. But then that's another thing to carry, isn't it? Do you know, there's pros and cons. Like, it sounds great, but then.
Yeah, and I guess you can book. Yeah, but them cots aren't very nice.
The only thing I would say is maybe
seat.
with a newborn, mind you, maybe with a newborn it might be quite, because they're always cosy and they sleep a long time.
They do have them cot seats. Them cots.
They have them
nice,
bassinets.
though, are they?
Yeah.
Mine never settled in them bassinets.
No, neither did mine, to be fair, that well. I think when you fly with kids, you just got to accept you're not going to rest.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Just wait till you get there and you'll be in paradise and it'll all be worth it.
Packing. Sorry, can we talk about packing for holidays?
Yeah, what, for the kids?
Just in general.
In general.
I'm the worst packer in the world, right?
No, Billie just takes her whole wardrobe.
No, I'm terrible. So every holiday I say to myself, right, take exactly what you need. An outfit for the day, outfit for evening.
Everyone says this.
And then what I start doing is that thing where I chuck in, oh, but I might need that. Or I'll take that extra pair of shoes or an extra dress just in case.
But I should be a little bit more of you when I'm packing, because I always find I leave myself too short, and that's worse.
Oh, I've never done that.
See, I have, and that's worse.
But I would like to do that. I'd like to be in that position where I think, I've actually got to get something dry clean.
Well, that's what I've had to do before. I've had to go and give like 3 outfits. I'm like, I haven't packed right for this trip. Like, and I've shortened. But kids are, do you know what, packing for the kids I find quite easy.
It's so hard, is it? Because you want them to, sometimes you think, oh, like little smart outfits for them.
But I just pack a load of H&M stuff.
The little, I think we spoke about these before, the $2.99 H&M dresses.
Pack a load of them
Rosie
for the
and
girls.
Nelly love them. But that's all, you just want easy stuff for the kids on holiday.
I mean, when they're little, you do need more, because you know what it's like when you're on holiday, you know, your kids are eating pastas around the pool or, you know, ice cream. I feel like the kids get messier on holiday.
Yeah.
So I would take lots and lots of vests or T-shirts and stuff. But as they get older, like now, mine are easy. Like I have, like, you know, a couple of outfits for each day and that's it. But when they're little, you need to take loads of baby grows.
Oh, yeah. And even
like those little vest baby grows.
Like now with Arthur, like during the day, he'll wear just his swimming shorts with a T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like his daytime outfit done. And then like, in the evenings, it's just T-shirt and a pair of shorts.
T-shirt and shorts,
and Nelly's quite.
I think just as long as the kids are comfortable, because I think sometimes I've taken, really lovely outfits, and we all want to get lovely outfits on our kids on holiday, or nice pictures and stuff. But sometimes I think always be careful of like what material you're taking, because
you just want
they
that
just
nice.
and they just get hot, don't they? And it's bothered, and they don't want to wear it.
No.
And then you've packed all these, fancy outfits, and they won't even put them on.
Do you know
There's
what
no
I
point.
always bring out in my George collection for Asden? I think you've taken them for Rosie and Paul before. Like the little packs, 3 pairs of shorts, 3 pairs of t-shirts. They're like little. They're like little sets. They're all cotton.
Perfect.
So easy. Like I think on my last few holidays, I've literally got them to send me like 2 lots of each,
Loads
and
of
literally it's the easiest thing. Like little sets.
And then
done.
if things, I think it's much more wiser, because then if things get ruined or stained, you can just leave it.
Yeah, it's not like
a couple of quid. Okay, we've got a question here. It says, is it really a holiday? Hubby is scared to travel with a baby and a 2-year-old.
I mean, I can't blame him, to be honest.
A baby and a 2-year-old. So I've done that. You've done that.
Yeah. I think...
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's never stopped us.
No, and I just think, like...
But to be fair, like I can see his point, because it's like you are like it does get to a point sometimes when you're around the pool and you don't rest, and because you're not in your home environment, you're somewhere else, and like you're just constantly on the go. And
I just think
in the hotel room you're like having to get there and like baby proof everything, and
and I just think in this kind of situation, a baby and a 2-year-old, that is quite crucial, and we've obviously both been there. I think you need to obviously pick wisely where you're going to stay. I think like if you've got a hotel which is like really accommodating for children and babies, you'll feel more relaxed rather than going somewhere which maybe isn't so much. Then you can just not feel as like on edge, if your child's crying. But I do think that I think it's worth it. Plot up in your little position around the pool or the beach, get a nice shaded area, get all the toys out, get a nice big blanket, and just relax. Like, do something different from what you usually do at home every single day. And I do think, I know it's a baby and maybe not so much, but the 2-year-old, they're going to love it.
Yeah, I do.
They will
agree.
love it. And
I think it's the thought of it. You do think, you're going to be on the go constantly, and you are. But then you'll do the same thing if you're at home. So it's sort of
it's like,
would it be nice to break it up a little bit? And I think like what Samantha said, you kind of got to pick wisely where you go on holiday.
Yeah.
And I've always said this. I think it's easier being on the beach with kids than what it is around the swimming pool.
Well, I guess it depends, doesn't it, on... some families just love the pool.
I mean,
some love
my
beach.
2 and Greg doesn't like the beach. He always wants to be by the pool, but I never forget. Right now, this is going to sound really mean and awful, but at one point, Arthur wouldn't walk on the sand.
I remember,
So sometimes I used to go to Greg, should we go down the beach for a break?
And then you know that it would sit on the towels.
So I would I'd put down 2 towels underneath an umbrella, put all of his toys in front of him, and he would just sit there and play.
Yeah.
Right? Because he didn't want to go on the sand. And then we could actually have a rest. Like Nellie was fine, she'd just be doing what she was doing. And then we'd go to the pool and he'd be like a ball in the china shop, darting here, then everywhere. And I'd be like panicking, like,
oh, that's actually another good tip. You know what's really good for the kids around the swimming pool, just for our listeners, if you haven't done holidays yet with your little ones, the float suits.
Oh, they're brilliant.
They're really good.
Nellie learnt to swim in one of those.
Rosie learnt to swim in a float suit.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
to
really
be fair, I
good.
couldn't even get an armband on a little pool, but they're like these little kind of, the float suits, they're like it's almost like a swimsuit, or it's like a boy's swimsuit, like the little shorts, and they've got all little floats around the stomach area.
And you can like remove the floats, like as they're getting better, and then it makes them like swim better.
They're actually quite good. You can.
Yeah, they're really good actually.
Yeah, they're good ones for like the little ones that can't swim. So another question: would you ever leave them? Would you ever leave them behind with their grandparents, or do you feel too guilty?
Yeah.
So I actually haven't done a holiday. Really, yes. But he's like, been there, done that.
Yeah. So I have actually left mine behind with Mum before, and also I've left them with Linda, Greg's mum, before. And I just think, right, if you know the kids are happy and the grandparents are happy to do it, then why not?
The grandparents are happy to do it.
I think, like, if everyone's happy, like, why not? As parents, look, I'm very fortunate and very lucky to have, you know, my mum and my mother-in-law to help out and be able to do that. And I know not everyone has got that.
Yeah.
Or, like, might feel like they can't. I feel fully, now mine, especially like now they're a bit older as well, I feel like fully confident they're going to be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like they're fine with their and sometimes like like, especially like if it's me and Greg together,
Yeah.
like if we've done something together and they've looked after them, like you do, I suppose, feel that little bit like you don't want them to be missing.
Yeah, you're there and you're like, oh,
it's different. Like if I had to go away for work or something, Greg was there, but. I think if you've got the opportunity and everyone's happy, why not? Like, as a parent, you deserve a break.
Yeah, see, Paul and I have never done a holiday without the kids. They've come on every single holiday with
Yeah.
us. I've done one city break. We've done 2 nights in Venice. Which wasn't actually that enjoyable, but that's for another time. Didn't even really like it. But we haven't done a holiday. And I think maybe for us, I think now, well, I'm not going to be able to do it now, am I? But
yeah,
I would
when
have
they're
liked,
a bit older.
when they're a bit older, I
Like
would have,
now would have been
would have been fine.
Yeah.
You know, they're both in school. We could have done like a little cheeky 5 nights
Yeah.
somewhere, but
baby moon.
it's not going to happen now. And I really wanted to do a little baby moon with this pregnancy, with just Paul and I. And we was like, oh yeah, but then is that mean? Like, I think the guilt thing does kick in with us.
Yeah, like I do get it. I get it if you don't. Especially like if you had to sacrifice, like let's say
Yeah,
I
it's
would never
like-
sacrifice a family holiday
Yeah.
for a holiday of just me
And
and
that's
Greg.
what I was thinking. I was like, then we're actually not doing any holiday. So, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to do, I said to Paul, I would have loved a little few days in the sunshine somewhere
Yeah.
before this baby comes, because you know, it's like for the next 18 months, it's
You're-
just
yeah,
full on, isn't it?
course,
With a newborn.
yeah.
But
And you got no chance. Well,
it's not
you
going to
just
happen.
You're just
now.
not going to do
it's
that.
not going to
are
happen
you,
for
with
a long time.
newborn?
So we've, come to the idea that we're not going to have a holiday together on our own for at least another 4 years. So,
but you could get a
me
little
and
break
Paul-
in here and there.
Yeah, maybe.
like
We've
a long,
had,
like long weekend, Friday
so
to
we
Monday.
only, Paul and I only actually have had 2 holidays on our own
Since you've been together.
ever.
Yeah.
And they were both pre-kids. One was Dubai for Greg's
Yeah.
birthday, and one was our baby moon in the Maldives with little Paul.
Maldives,
So
yeah.
we've done no holidays without the kids. Obviously, we've had the best time ever, but I do
You
think
two would go away and be like, what are we going to do?
This is strange,
This
yeah.
is weird. No, it is actually, I remember the first time Greg and I done it, and we was like, this is like, you can get up and like do what you want. You can go to breakfast and there's no
It's
like
just-
fussing.
yeah.
It's just like, what should we do now?
But then, like, Paul has a point. Paul goes to me, you know what, though? We've got our whole life to go on holiday together on our
Yeah.
own. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but I think just when you're like a mum with little kids, I think that is like a goal, isn't it? To have like your own
Yeah.
5 days somewhere.
I think it's
but
just,
I don't know. Yeah,
it's
not
nice to
gonna
have a
happen for me.
break.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's nice to have like a break, but then, you know, ultimately, I suppose you wouldn't sacrifice your family holiday for it.
No.
Like, it's a bonus, isn't it?
Well,
It
like,
would be
I
a
done,
bonus.
for example, I done your hen do, and that was amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, obviously, Paul's at home with
Paul's
the kids.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's
And
different.
Paul's done Vegas a few times with boxing fights
If
and
one
stuff.
parent's at home, it's like
You don't feel
Greg and I have
I
done
didn't feel
different.
as guilty. You don't feel a little
No.
bit maybe because Rosie was.
We're
not
always gonna
quite
miss
one,
them.
but like they're with their dad.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
it's
and they're at home, so it's
and there's
different.
no like you haven't really got to be like as not. But I think when like a grandparent looks after us, you're always like, oh, let me check in, let FaceTime. But when they're
Yeah,
with their
when
other
they're dead, you
parent,
don't even need to check in.
you know
they're
that they're
fine.
fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay, so it's that time for Ask Us Anything. So we answer questions from you guys about literally anything you want to know. Can be about us, relationships, kids, or you might have a dilemma that you want us to answer. So the first question is, do you ever get treated different by other parents at school because of your career? Be honest,
Well, I was just going to say, I've actually got some really lovely friends at Paul and Rosie's school, and I do feel quite lucky because we was new to the area, didn't know a soul, and I wasn't actually expecting to make, really good friends at the school, but it just happened that way naturally. And the friends that I've got don't care who I am. Like, they don't care that I've been on telly. They haven't even watched the show. A couple of them don't even know what our show was or what Towie was, which is nice. But there was this incident a little while ago, and it's quite funny. I don't know if I told you. So a bit of tittle-tattle playground nonsense. Like we said before, I actually don't do I don't do all the school runs. I do the prep in the morning. Paul does most of the school drop-offs and stuff. But so I don't really attend the playground that much. Yeah, so I don't really get involved. Do you know what? I don't even know. That's why I don't even get that involved in anything. But if there is any playground tittle tattle, I don't know if it's going on because I'm not
You're not there enough to.
And I just
be
don't.
involved
I
in it
sort of
all.
say hi to us, and I get the kids, and I just go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is quite funny. Whether or not this is true, I don't know, but it got back to me. So, going into school run, one of my really good school mum friends was parking, and there was a cone in a space.
Oh, parking wars at the
Parking
school.
wars
We
is
have
horrendous
this.
at ours.
It's really bad.
Yeah, so there was a cone in a space that belonged to our primary school. We share a car park with the Doctors or something like that. I think it's Doctors or church, or Village Hall. I don't even know.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Anyway, so this space I know is ours. Anyway, so my good friend, and I was like, oh, here. And literally all I did was move the cone over, right? So she can get in. I don't know why the cone was there. It wasn't like there was any damage or anything. I think it just, don't know, whatever. Anyway, which anyone would do for their friend so they're not late picking up their kids.
Of course,
do you know what I mean? Or it's just, anyway. So it's got back, this mum had said to another mum, Sam's moving cones around in the car park.
I bet she said, I don't know who she thinks she is.
No, just because she's a celebrity, she thinks she can do what she wants.
No.
So apparently, I don't know. I literally don't even know if this is true, but this is what apparently was said.
I hate that phrase.
So, right,
sorry.
This is what at the time when I was told, this is what annoyed me. Obviously, then I got over it straight away. I thought, no, this is ridiculous. Don't be annoyed. What annoyed me was, say what you want and gossip, tittle tattle, whatever you want to do is fine. I don't really care. But it annoyed me that it was like, because she's a celebrity.
She threw the celebrity card
But I'm
in.
like, any human being would do that for their friend who's late picking up their children.
Whether you're a celebrity or not.
I'm just a mum helping out another mum up the school. Come on. Like, you don't have to throw the celebrity thing in there. So apart from that incident, like, I'm all good. Like, I love my school and the kids. But I don't, like I said, I don't know if that is the truth or not, but it probably is.
Well, one of the school mums, obviously I don't know if it's like school mums or teachers or whatever, but like my car has gone round like the whole, like basically it's been on like a school email, basically an email that goes to everyone.
Are you not parking in the right place?
Well, I was in the same situation. I got to the school and I was running late and I panicked and I parked somewhere I shouldn't have been parked. Someone's taken a photo of my car, sent it to the headmaster. The headmaster sent an email to every single parent at the school out in the car. I didn't even see the email, right? And then one of my friends from the school, one of the school mums called me up and went, oh, someone's been naughty.
Oh,
and I went, what? I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, haven't you seen your car on the school email? I went, I'll call you back. I looked, right, and then about 5 minutes after that, I got a phone call from Greg. The one time you do the school run,
you're now
and
on the school email,
now on the generic school email. I was like, who does that? Who has?
I do think a lot of it comes down to the parking.
Parking.
It's the same in our school.
No, it's because people were like, oh, why does she think she could do it? Like
that exactly.
And it is like, look, I do get it. I shouldn't have maybe parked there, but it wasn't like. I hadn't taken anyone's space. I wasn't obstructed.
Yeah.
It was just I was parked somewhere quickly where I shouldn't have been. Thought I'll nip in and out. Anyway, got totally outed on the score. I was like, I won't do that again.
That's so funny. I think that so many people can relate to this, like with the whole parking thing at the school.
Wars at the school.
Because as well, like, let's just say you are running a tad late. You just want to pull up and just run, and you don't get. Sometimes I just ditch the car and I just run them in.
This is really funny. One of the school mums actually said to me recently that she said, have you heard what happened in the church car park? I said, what? And she said that apparently one of the mums was doing donuts in their car.
What do you mean? What? Out of school hours?
No, in school hours. Pulled into the school and done...
What do you mean? That's not true.
I was really confused. I was like, what do you mean doing donuts? And apparently, was doing
like handbrakes and then spinning.
I was like, what a gangster.
Maybe that's what I should do. Give them something to talk about.
And I was really laughing because I was thinking, who's done? Like, is that true? Is it a rumour? Like, it is mad, isn't it? The thing, like, the Schoolgate gossip. I mean, I'm the same as you. Like, Greg does most of the school runs, right? So
yeah.
I actually don't really, not out of choice or anything. I don't really talk to many of the school mums. Like, there's a few that I say hi to and I chat to, and they're really nice, friendly, but I don't really have.
You haven't built proper friendship relationships with them.
You've got friendships with some of your school. I've got that with one or two who I've known for a long time, but I don't really have.
You don't have social life outside of school with
No,
them, yeah.
I have been on a mum's night out.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
That's another episode.
Yeah,
that was fun. Like that was like mums on the loose. But yeah, I can't say that I would be treated differently because I'm a celebrity. I just don't really. I don't really have like many friendships with any of the school mums.
No, and I think that's fine.
But again, it's because I'm not up there a lot.
Exactly.
Like, so I suppose why would I? Like, if I'm not up there enough, I wouldn't had
also,
time
like,
to build.
I think when you're super busy and it's sometimes it's just complete different dynamics, isn't it? For certain mums and dads and
it's not like through ignorance or it's nothing like at all because like I would hate for anyone to say like who does she is. It's just because I suppose I'm not up there enough.
Yeah,
and that is it.
So last question, would you ever get the kids a pet? Yes, I want a dog.
Do you?
Yeah, and I think as well with the new house.
Yeah.
Oh, so for our listeners, Paul and I have bought a house. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
We've got land, and I just think it's the perfect house to have a dog.
So you want like a bigger dog rather than a small dog?
A bigger one, but it's not going to happen because Big Paul's like, no, we've got a newborn. I do get it.
I do get it. Like,
I do get it, but I have wanted a dog my whole life. Like, do you not remember when I was younger and I used to ask mum for a dog?
But would you have? This is the thing. Like, Nelly is so desperate for a dog, and sometimes
but you should get one in your new house.
Oh, it's just another tie. It's a full-time commitment.
Yeah, and
it's
probably harder than having a kid.
You could take your children everywhere with you. You can't take your pets everywhere.
I think if you get a good, trustworthy dog sitter,
someone, I know what you're saying.
An extra cost.
I know.
But I think for me, this is like the perfect time for. Because Paul's like, we could have one when we're older when we go walking and stuff. Paul was like, the kids would love a family pet.
I feel quite guilty, right? Because I'm so lenient and I try and do everything I can and like with the kids, whatever, give them what they want or need. And I think that, this dog, like getting a dog is the only thing I just feel so strongly about. I'm
so
just
Paul's
like, it's
really
not on my agenda, but I feel
Paul's
bad.
Like, no.
Because I know that the kids would absolutely love.
Yeah.
Like, I think, it's just
a nice family pet.
not hardly ever there, but all over the place with work commitments. We travel a lot.
Yeah.
Our routine is not set from week to week. It's all over the place. I don't know, would it be fair? Not unless I did have if I had someone that was there all the time to take care of the dog, then maybe. But
this is what Paul said. Paul went, you'd get a dog and it'd end up being me doing all the walks, me becoming best friends with the dog, me now being attached to the dog so I can't leave the dog. And I was like, that's so true. I seen a meme on that recently.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
But we're gonna get chickens. So I'm very excited about chickens. And Paul and Rosie have already named the chickens. Not that we've got them yet. So
we have had, in case anyone didn't know, we did have 2 tortoises. Do you remember we had Lady and Toto?
What happened to them two?
Lady and Toto. Well, we
That's
gave
a very strange pet.
We got really strange. One day, Nelly was really little, and Nelly at the time was always talking about tortoises. Greg went to the pet shop and come back with a tortoise. I was like, "What are you doing?"
That's so strange. Like
he come back with a tortoise, Lady and Toto. So, and then we bought
I
another one because
too.
Apparently tortoises. Obviously when we was doing our research, they're meant to be. They're better in twos than on their own.
Right. Okay.
And then.
Actually, I had fish a little while ago. It was a disaster.
I know. So tortoises have got to be the most easiest animal to look after ever. And we even got rid of them in the end because we was going on holiday.
Did you give them away?
Dad was coming to have to
feed them and
babysit the tortoises, live at ours for 2 weeks while we was away. Because you still have to feed them and clean out their pens
water
and pens, cages, whatever they are. But so we told Nelly and Arthur that. So it's actually quite funny. So the local farm to us, Old McDonald's Farm, there is these 2 huge tortoises.
So you said that that's them?
We said that we gave them, and they've grown. This is why we couldn't keep them anymore.
That's really
it's Lady
funny.
and Toto, but
they're massive.
We gave them away to a friend, but
yeah. I could see myself having a full farm, but it's hard. I could do it, I think. For me, I could do it. But with the baby coming and...
Not yet.
I've always wanted chickens. I'm going to start with that and see how we get on.
Yeah, maybe just not... Yeah. Not at this present time.
And for those that are so desperate to know the names of the chickens, I'll tell you what they are. So Paul... we haven't got them.
This.
No, we haven't even got chickens yet, but Paul and Rosie have named them already. So one's called Paul, one's called Rosie, obviously. One's called... Mario, but Paul says Mario. So
Mario.
It's Mario and Barbie. And oh sugar, what are the last two called?
Mario.
The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
And
That one can be Rock the Cock.
yeah. What did Rosie say? What was Rosie's last one? Oh sugar. Rosie, Barbie. Oh, I can't remember Rosie's last
Baby
one.
brain.
Baby brain's gone. But anyway, so we've already named chickens. But other than that, we'll see how we get on. I would like to have a dog, but thanks so much for listening, guys. We hope that our travel episode was helpful. I think we gave as much tips as we could there.
Yeah, I think we gave a few. Hopefully there's some useful information.
Yeah. And don't forget you can watch us on YouTube as well. So subscribe and comment, DM us. Let us know what you want us to chat about in the next few weeks. We've got some exciting guests coming on. And yeah, that's it from us. So we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.